So why are you using story points? What do you do when something is too big? How much time are you spending on story points? Are you repointing a ticket after you started it, or even worse, after you finished it? Okay, we finished this ticket. It's 3 story points. So when having seen hundreds of teams do this, it's very quickly you can easily detect these patterns. And so when you see those, I think as a practitioner, you're going to be like, okay, well, often you can say, well, we can go fix the practice. But what I've also included in my tool of how to handle these things is, well, let's not do the practice. What happens if we don't do it? And story points is a great example of, let's not do story points anymore. Let's just focus on the question of, like, how would you do this? How would you do this piece of work? And how big is it? And because story points is probably done by 90% of software development teams, that in of itself, it's taboo. No, we have to do this. How are we going to know our velocity? How are we going to know? I'm like, and that's where the trust comes in. Often when I get questions, well, I get asked a question, well, what are you going to do about velocity? Like, are you tracking velocity? Yeah, like, where are you tracking velocity? And they don't really go anywhere. It's like, okay, well, it doesn't seem to me like you're tracking velocity. So I think in my opinion, it probably has the least impact on your velocity at the moment if we don't do story points. And so it's just, and it's a fun thing because I like that one as always, like one of the first handful of things to go do, to just give that shock to the system. Like, hey, if you don't do this, how are you going to feel? Because that's often also always the thing of the most contention. So many people do it. They've been doing it. We've been doing story points for 10. Wherever I've worked, I've been doing story points. I've been doing it for 10, 15 years. Oh, well, what if we don't? And what I've found in finding those places where you can actually let's just not do it, you're able to bring the conversations within the team to the things that actually matter, which is, how might we do this? How might we design this? How might we develop this feature? And how big do we think it is? And you do that repetitively enough, the quality of the conversation starts to increase. And then the tickets themselves become small. Oh, well, we can do this. This is what we can break this up into these 3 or 4 pieces. Great. Those 3 or 4 pieces will be tickets for your epic. And then now you start to getting into, like, having the right size epics with the right amount of stories, by just eliminating the waste that can come from using story points when it's not used well. Some teams are great with story points. Great. Then that's not the problem for you to go solve for.